Joe, nice to meet you. Thanks for coming in. Okay. And I know you are a bit nervous, okay, but don't worry, everybody's a little bit nervous when they come in to see me. I remember the phone call. You said public speaking is the thing, doing presentations, really scary. Yeah.
Not the best.
Okay. So have you got, I take it then that you've got some experience in the past?
Yeah. At school, a while ago actually, I went to do a presentation by yourself and I got so nervous I started to cry.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, I had to leave the room.
Okay, so that sort of left you with a bit of a legacy, did it? Yeah, okay. And a bit of a belief that there's no chance you can do this anymore.
Pretty much.
Yeah, and you're obviously wondering, can I help you to get over that and to start doing presentations?
Yeah.
Well, the good news is, yes. Okay. How can I do it? Well, look, there's a couple of ways of doing this. As you know, I do hypnosis, okay? And that's usually what everybody plumbs for. They say, hypnotise me and make me do X, Y, and Z. And maybe we could do that, okay? Maybe we could. That works best where it's somebody, one, if they're a good hypnotic subject, clearly that helps. But more importantly, whether they're compliant, whether they're suggestible, and if they are, then that can help a lot, especially, for instance, if you suddenly said to me, oh my God, I've got to do a speech next week, then actually that's about the best thing we could do, put a sticking plaster over it for you. And although a lot of people get a bit scared about hypnosis, it's really nice, it's really relaxing. I don't think I've ever had anybody walk out the door thinking it was a horrible experience. They've all gone out floating out the door normally and loving the whole thing,
Does the hypnosis stay forever, or do you have to do certain things to keep it going?
That's a brilliant question.
I know my mum was saying some people tap their hand.
Yeah.
Or something.
Okay, yes, some people, that's called an anchor, okay? And so, yes, sometimes, again, if people are pretty compliant, if they're suggestible, you can give them an anchor to keep reminding them. That works really well. What I like to do is I like to record the session onto a CD and you take it away with you. And then if you feel you need a little boost, put it on at home and you can have as many booster sessions as you want, So that can work really well. But in answer to your question, does it last forever? That depends on the person. So with my hope is when I give people the booster CD, that actually it's going to be really helpful for them and they can use it into the long term. And occasionally, if I've had somebody come in to stop smoking, for instance, if they've had a bit of a relapse, they've loved the idea of the CD and they've got back on the straight and narrow again, which is great, obviously. Now, that's, for me, it's one way, but what if you're not very suggestible? What do we do then? Well, again, there is another way of doing this. And for me, in a way, it's better because it's a way that empowers you rather than me maybe trying to wave a magic wand for you. And what that's about is a program called Thrive. And what Thrive is about is nothing to do with hypnosis at all. It's all about psychology. It's all about me helping you to identify how you're thinking about things at the moment. So, for instance, if you had to do a presentation tomorrow, by now, your thinking process would be, oh my God, I've got one to do tomorrow, I'll never be able to cope, what if I cry, what if this happens, what if that happens, I'm going to look a bit of a banana, And so, all you're really saying to me is, I've got a real tough time processing my thoughts over this, okay? What Thrive is about helping people to learn how to think differently. And the truth is, you see, Joe, nobody has ever taught you how to think, have they?
No. Really, no.
No, that's kind of what I'm going to do, is teach you how to think in a different way, so that when you are asked to do a presentation or you want to do a speech or anything like that, that actually you can take control of your thinking, process it in exactly the way that's going to be most benefit to you and walk out as if you have done it all of your life. And really, the best way for this to happen for you is that you actually look forward to doing it. Yeah, I mean, there's that scared look on your face, isn't there? But, ideally we get you to the point where you actually look forward to it. And I actually like doing presentations. It's something that I don't mind doing at all. I think they're fun, I think they're enjoyable, and that's how I think about them before I go on. So if I can teach you how to think in the same way, so you can look forward to it, that you think it's going to be something that you're going to enjoy, something that other people will enjoy listening to, the reality is, rather than thinking of all the other stuff, what you'll find is you'll walk on and you'll look forward to it. And that's the same for anything. Even if you'd said to me, I'm frightened of flying, or I've got problems with food, or I've got whatever it would be, it's usually all about the way that you're thinking. That's the problem. And really that's what people need help with. And that's what Thrive's all about.
Is it a website or is it an actual disc program?
No, it's coming to see me. And you sit down for about 6 or 8 sessions. Great question. Yeah. Sit down for about 6 or 8 sessions. It's like a training program that we go through together. And I teach a little bit of psychology about how your mind works. We then, each lesson that we go through, you're going to get some homework. And I know you're going to love homework, yeah? So you get a bit of homework to do, and the idea of the homework is really that you're beginning to use some of the things I'm teaching you. By the end of the 6 weeks, the idea is that actually it's become habitual. Do you know what I mean by habitual?
Yes.
Yeah? Habit forming.
Yes.
Yeah? So a little bit like at the moment you automatically panic if somebody says, do a presentation for me. What we're looking for at the end of 6 or 8 weeks is that you are automatically going, oh great, yeah, that's no problem, I can do that. Yeah, and you do. So that's what we're looking for. So it's about teaching you psychology, it's about boosting your self-esteem, it's about getting rid of any social anxiety, and all that means is a fear of being judged. And if you think about it with presentations, the reality is it's mainly about a fear of being judged, isn't it? Yeah. So if we can help you to get rid of that fear of being judged, if we can get you feeling really good about yourself, if I can get you to the point where you really believe that actually this isn't a problem at all, where you're feeling quite powerful about it, actually the reality is you just walk out and do it without any trouble at all. Yeah. And they're just skills. Yeah, that's all they are. They're just psychological skills that anybody can learn. If you go onto my website, you'll find testimonials there from people who have been through this and have come out the other end quite different people, really. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it is. And the nice thing about Thrive is you don't, in fact, have to wait till the end to get the benefit. Usually people by the 3rd session are saying to me they are feeling quite different. Yeah, so that's one of the great things often with courses. They tell you have to wait till the end. You don't with this. You'll start getting the benefit before then. Yeah. You got any other questions about it you want to ask me?
Really?
It's always hard, isn't it, when somebody puts you in a corner like that. I think you were telling me as well that you've got a friend who wasn't quite brave enough to come along and see me, but did have a question for me, yeah?
Yeah, he was beaten up quite badly by it, and he's quite tormented by it, traumatised, and I'm a bit worried. Do you have any suggestions how I could help him?
Yeah.
Or persuade him to bring him here, even?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'd like to meet him, yeah, so I can gauge it for myself, but when somebody's been traumatised like that, we use an approach called cognitive processing and integration, CPI for short. What that's about is we take people back. We do use hypnosis for that as well, but we take people back to the event and we get them to first of all, release any emotion around the event, and then we go back over the whole thing again, and we help people to reprocess what's happened to them. And what I mean by that is when you, often when people are thinking about something that's happened to them, they're only looking at it in a really negative way. It's the only way they can look at it. So if I can take somebody back and help them to see it in a totally different way, they can then process it in that way. They start to feel differently about it. So that's what I'd suggest that your friend perhaps looks at what I do. And obviously maybe he might like you to come along with him to give him a little bit of courage about that. And that would be great, because I'm pretty sure that I should be able to help him with that.
Okay.